what y'all gonna do about public transportation? Other people don't have cars, and it costs a lot for them to go to the branch or anywhere. If they want to look for a job, they can't look for a job because they don't have the transportation.
Are you addressing that to the entire group?
Yes.
Okay. Then let's go this way this time with the answers. That's right.
I'm Felicia Darty from West Point, Georgia.
Darty, thank you for the question. The idea of the concept of public transportation has been talked about for several years now. The economics of it are very challenging right now, given the size of our city budget and the current demands on it. However, a unique opportunity presents itself at Point University. In order to bring Point here, we had to partner with the City of Valley to provide the housing and some of the athletic facilities. They will be busing their students up and down Highway 29 to the schools. That's Ms. Darty, that seems to be the best opportunity to see how public transportation may work here and how we may model after that. Again, while the demand is there, careful planning and execution of that to make sure that it doesn't create additional burdens on the city budget and thus the taxpayers is important.
Thank you, ma'am. I think that something that could be done immediately could be maybe see the Troup County commissioners and see if we might talk to them about this senior citizen bed. I hear the sits out by sitting at home all the time and never moves. I don't see why we bought it if we're not going to use it. So I think that maybe, in my opinion, the city or the county does not spend enough money on social programs, and I think it's time not to refocus and look at our budget and see what we can do for the social part of the city as we do for businesses and other areas in the city. That's been the main focal point. But most of our goals have been achieved now with these plants and different things. So I think we need to take a real hard look at these social issues and see what we can do to provide for the needs of these people that are seeking jobs and other areas of the place that they might be concerned about. And that would be my first step to see if we can talk to the county commission, see if maybe they can help us have 1 or 2 days a week or something, or a month, and advertise it, and see if we can get people to these different places for employment that don't have transportation.
There again, I think we can leverage our opportunity with Point University. Working with them and CSU and Southern Union and all of the other assets we have around here, some good things will come out of it. It looks very promising, and I think that's what we should do.
Ms. Darden, this is something that we've talked about quite extensively in the ministerial group, because we deal with people all the time who don't have rights to get to doctors, can't get to their doctor's appointments or to their job interviews, particularly when they're out of town. That's why we need more jobs here for starters. But one area that we could possibly look at to help us in the intermediate time before our city could actually fund it itself is to look into partnerships with our churches. We have worked great as a city with the churches in town. And I know that scares some people. It shouldn't. We have a wonderful cooperative effort called the West Point Food Closet that has helped a quarter of our population. The stats are there. 25% of West Point's been touched by that. That's the city working hand in hand with the churches, working hand in hand with local businesses to bring about meeting a need in this town. And I think that possibly we could get together with churches that hold buses. And I know there's a liability issue, but we're talking about an immediate fix to a problem that needs to be addressed right now. Maybe we could lean on the churches a little bit there, and maybe have volunteers from various churches and who would work with the city. If the city knows someone that needs a ride, contact the city if you don't have a church, and then let the city contact the churches and see if we can't get people to these appointments.
Ms. Darden, I don't have an answer for you, but if you would see me after this meeting, I will provide you with a number that you can call, and I know they do public transportation back and forth to the doctors, and I think they also will take you on different, on other places. But if you'll see me after this meeting, I will provide you with that number.
I hate to answer the question with a sour note, but on several occasions, some of the local churches provided their vans in order to take people to different job interviews. A couple of them was in Columbus, LaGrange, and no one showed up.
I think public transportation is a wonderful idea. I'm not sure that our city's quite to that point just yet, because if we can't make it work with Point North University and Columbus State University, then we're going to be overhauling our budget to get 4 or 5 buses to cover people around the clock, like we see with MARTA in Atlanta or in some of the other larger cities. So I think if we want to get a bus with a specific route, I think that's probably doable in the near future. But I think to think that we're going to have MARTA anytime soon, it may be a little